Hello, slightly different angle of my room today because I don't know if anyone even fucking noticed, but it's slightly different because the camera's more forward and it's also shifted to the right more than normal. I did my washing. Yay! Well, this is colored washing. Not that I don't do washing, but I have enough clothes where I don't need to do it too often, and I finally did my colored washing, which I've been meaning to do for like a month and a half. But I've just not needed to do the colored washing, so I've not done it. But anyway, I am on here to say there's another man. Yes, yes, I know. I know. With my history, with fucking broski, I shouldn't even be entertaining any man. And yet I am. Now, this started like 1 or 2 days ago. Can't exactly remember. I think it was 2 days ago that it started. And we've not really talked about anything with substance necessarily, but he's giving vibes. Like, he's giving my vibes, like the vibes that I need and want from a partner. So, I'm very much invested. However, given my past experience with Broski, I felt it was necessary to come on here and make a verbal promise to myself and to any of my viewers, if anybody even watched this, apart from you, Johnny boy. Anyway, I'm here to declare that I will not let myself take things too quickly. Because at the moment we are right now, it's being very flirty with no substance in terms of like personality and interest. However, the flirtiness I am liking. Okay. That being said, I also know myself, and this is how the whole broski thing happened, where it started off mildly flirting, and then it kind of escalated at some point because I started feeding into it, and then he fed into it more, so I fed into it more, so on and so forth. So what I'm trying to do is I'm stepping back a little bit. I'm not giving him instant responses, and I'm also going to try and still keep, the conversation flirty, vibey, whatever, while also learning about him in the meantime, right? If that makes sense. And I'm on here to tell myself that I'm not allowed to respond to him if it's past midnight. Okay? If it's past midnight, I am not allowed to respond. Because that was how things happened with Broski. We stayed up talking, texting, until 6 o'clock in the fucking morning one day. And then it was a downward spiral. I became obsessed. He ghosted me. Okay? So here I am telling myself if it's past midnight, no texting. Because then we fall into the downward spiral and we can't have the downward spiral this time because we already have enough mental damage from Broski and I can't I can't go through what I did with Broski. Okay? I really can't. I can't do that again. So I'm putting up my own boundaries right now to attempt to prevent that as much as possible. That being said, I am a tiny bit obsessed with him already. But like, okay, because it'll be like I'll check if he's messaged me. I'll see that he's not. I'm like, oh fuck. But like then when I do see he's messaged me, I read the message. I like give myself time, like at the very least like 10 minutes or something, and then I collect myself. And I'm like, okay, let's respond. Um, Whereas with Broski, I was just so excited that I kept getting messages from him that I just responded instantly. And I fear that I could also be an instant responder with this guy, which is why I'm telling myself that I'm not allowed to do that until we like see each other in person or whatever and we figure out what the fuck's going on. Okay? Love that for us. But yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say. No late night texting, no instant responding. Um I feel like there was something else that I said along the way. Trying to take it slow. That's it. because with Broski, we jumped in too quickly. With him, there's a possibility that we jump in too quickly because, okay, what the bestie said, and she's always been saying this ever since I had told her about Broski, is that pet names quickly are a red flag or not a good sign. I, however, am a sucker for pet names. I will eat them up every single fucking time. So we're like on our fifth message, between fifth and 10th message, he's pretty as well, which means he can get away with things. And he starts calling me a pet name because I asked him like, oh, why do you like? Oh, because he asked like, what are your red flags? Like that was like his opener on Bumble. It was like, what are your red and green flags? For green flag, I said loyalty, honesty. For red flag, I said probably clingy and jealous, but I'm trying to work on the jealousy. Then he was like, love a clingy and jealous gal. And I'm like, oh my god, really? Like, what? And like, we talked about that for a little bit, and then I ended up asking him, like, why is it that, you like someone clingy and jealous? And he's like, honestly, I don't know. So I'm like, okay, if you ever find out, like, if you ever figure out why you like it, tell me because I love, like, learning about people's thought processes and the things that, like, the reasons why they enjoy things. Um, and then he responds with, like, will do, darling, or something. So, already, first conversation, and we're on to pet names. And then every single message after that point has had a pet name. I'm not against it, okay? I'm not against it because it's flirting. It's flirting right now, and flirting doesn't always have to be serious, okay? Okay. However, what was my however? What was the how? Anyway, regardless. So that, oh yeah, so Bestie said it's like a red flag. I don't necessarily think it's a red flag. I consider it as a part of flirting. But she is kind of right that, like, I shouldn't really be feeding into that too much. I mean, like, I'm still gonna mildly feed into it because I can't help myself and because I like pet names. But it's whatever. So, yeah, because we've introduced the pet names all fucking ready. Well, he has. I've not said anything to him. Um, it feels like this has the potential to spiral into what Broski and I had. But because I'm very much aware of that fact now, it's going to be relatively easy to distance myself from it, if that makes sense, and prevent it as much as possible. Because it's like if someone, I don't know, has like an alcoholic in their family, and they get like, I don't know, PTSD type thing from it, they might be like, oh my god, I never want to like drink alcohol, but then they end up drinking it. But even though they're drinking it, they have like the constant thought of like, I don't want to become an alcoholic. Therefore, it's harder for them to become an alcoholic if they're actively like pushing against that, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, I think that's a good analogy, right? That's kind of the vibe where it's like I could get easily attached, but because it's in the forefront of my mind to watch myself a little bit and put distance between myself and him, it's going to be fine, I think. If things start escalating a little bit too quickly, I'm hopping on here and I'm talking. Just so that I can set myself straight, because sometimes I give myself the best advice. In the moment that I realize this, it's because like advice to me, even though I'm an emotional person, I also think logically. So advice to me has to be emotionally supportive while also giving logical and clear reasons as to why I should or shouldn't be doing something. So if someone sits next to me, like, okay, let's say I'm crying about Broski. Someone sits next to me and is like, oh my god, girl, you're gonna be fine. Like, he's just a stupid boy. Like he's so not worth your time. That's like nice and all, but that's not gonna help me feel any better. Well, it's going to marginally, but I would feel a lot better if someone were to sit next to me and go like, girl, you're going to be fine. Listen, you didn't need him before, you don't need him now, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go collect yourself, and we're gonna give you a makeover, and you're gonna feel hot again, right? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna block him and move on with your life, right? Something along those lines where it's like giving me a clear path to success and to betterment is better emotional advice for me. And no one really knows how to give that advice necessarily. Like now that when I realized that I'm good at this advice and I'm good at giving this advice to myself, is when I was around 15. We had a hamster, no, a guinea pig, and he had to get euthanized, and I cried about it. So I went to like sit on the swings at a park, and I just cried about it, and I was crying for like half an hour just in my feels, and then completely like not even thinking about it, I started talking to myself as I usually do, in like the third or second person, where it was like, you just need to calm down and like get over it. Like what you need right now is like, you need to cry. Because no, I'm lying a little bit. I'm sure I said that, but I just okay, because up until this point, 15 years of my life, I'd been telling myself that I enjoy the feeling of crying because I like how puffy my eyes feel afterwards because it's just like a fun kind of sensation. And while I'm sitting there crying on this swing, I just speak to myself and I'm like, you don't like the feeling of crying, you like the feeling of being able to finally have an emotional release. My jaw dropped in that moment at my own words. And then I proceeded to give myself advice in the second person, about what to do and how to feel better about it. And ever since I realized that, it's like you know, I've been kind of working on expressing how I like my advice and my comfort given to me to my friends so that if I'm ever in like a distressing situation or like, I feel sad, they can help me through it by dealing with me in the way that I prefer. So, yeah, this is what this video is. It's advice to myself in the way that I like it to be presented in, because I'm giving myself a roadmap of do's and don'ts that I must stick to, and if I break those do's and don'ts, I now have a permanent record of it on the internet, which is fun and fresh. So yeah, I think that's that. I'm probably gonna go and respond to the message he sent me like 15 minutes ago, because he sent me that message and I was like, fuck, I need to talk about him, because it was a bold message. Let's just say that I'm not repeating anything bro said. I'm not repeating the conversation topic, because the conversation topic wasn't even that bad. Just bro was like, boom, have my honesty, and I'm like, okay, wow, someone's feeling bold, because he's a pretty bold guy, and if we've been on my channel before, we know that that's kind of my type. Someone who's just unapologetical. I don't think that's a word. Whatever. Yeah, I feel like I should also start saying my name in all of my videos, because like if people come up on my channel, they're gonna think it's Amelia. It's not Amelia. It's Amelia, guys. Because I have an outro, which is that, and then I turn it off. So I feel like I should have an intro, like, oh my god, like the MLG fucking edits of like 2010, where it's like, hi guys, Amelia here. We're talking about a depressing topic again. Maybe I should do that. Probably won't, because I feel like it's more down to earth if I just sit here and just talk to myself, as I do naturally, and I don't ever really use my name in conversation, unless I'm like pretend quoting someone where it's like, oh my god, like my mom turned around to me and was like, Amelia, do the dishes. Unless it's in that kind of situation, I don't really use my name in conversation. But my name is Amelia. You're. Okay, I ramble too much. Okay, bye bye.